And welcome back to Thursday Thoughts, a little bit of coffee and a song from Michael W. Smith. Friends are friends forever if the Lord's the Lord of them. And a friend cannot say, well, you know the song, and if you don't, sorry for whatever that was. In 1 Samuel 18, we see that David and Jonathan are super tight, like really besties all of a sudden. And the likelihood that there was a probably decade to 2 decade age gap is real. So there's been a lot of stuff in our culture and in our, I guess, eras here that people have said they must have been homosexual. Because in 2 Samuel, they talk about the fact that they were, or when he died, when Jonathan died, David's like, your love was greater than a woman's. He was tight with him. They were knit together. I have a question for you right here off of chapter 18. Who are you so tight with spiritually that it could be like your souls were knit together? You know, soul friend, soul mate. And is it Jesus that you have in common? There's people that say soulmates and they don't have spiritual things really in common at all with somebody unless they're far from God. So I want to encourage you, let your closest, nearest, deepest friends be people that help you find strength in God. A lot more on that later on. Actually, it'll be next week. Okay, so in the 19th chapter, Saul shows up after sending two groups of people to find David. He tries to kill him multiple times and it just doesn't work. And they end up prophesying, and then Saul ends up prophesying, and he ends up being naked, which is just weird. The whole thing is just weird. I think what's weird and most sad is that after all these opportunities of God thwarting him, Saul never repents. I want to encourage you, look for repentance and look for the opportunities for repentance and help people with repentance. Be kind to people. All right, in the 20th chapter, and this one is probably one that just stands out to me the most, David and Jonathan. David is on the run now from Jonathan. Excuse me, on the run from Saul. And here's what's up. Jonathan goes to him where he's at and swears to him and humbles himself to him and goes, you're going to be the king. And I've submitted to you, and I do submit to you. Again, the age gap there is significant, if not even old enough for him, for Jonathan to be his dad. So are you humble in your relationships? Do you find the opportunity to not only help people find strength in God and help them to find repentance, but do you submit to people well? And I'm not just saying submit to everybody, but submit out of reverence for Christ, as it says in Ephesians 5:21. Because there's a lot of thoughts on my mind. This is 3 chapters. I've just kind of unpacked some things. Tell us what you've been thinking about. We'll see you on Sunday. Love God, love others, and serve generously.